Hello there, friends. Welcome to Start Early Today, your daily dose of mindfulness and positivity. A moment to turn within and nudge the direction of where we're looking at. Because everything is dependent on the way we look at things. And take stock of how you have been looking at your life recently. Maybe this past couple of weeks, where has been your focus? Have you been running hither and thither, making ends meet and just trying to keep the lights on? Try stopping, my friend. Try stopping all this need to do things for you to feel okay and observe how things are happening with or without your input. This is a tool that I'm using that I call being the benign observer. And as you observe everything that is around you, you can also observe everything that is happening within you. Watch the tension in the arms or in the shoulders. Mostly we hold it in the hips too. That's why in yoga classes, when we do hip opening asanas or poses, some people cry. So in this conscious allowing and relaxing into the way things are, even your body, your nervous system will shift from sympathetic nervous system to parasympathetic. And when you turn into this mode of being, the vagus nerve turns on. And this is the nervous system responsible for healing. And the medical world and the medical doctors in white suits has been trying to cut and dissect and explain things, but healing is natural, my friend. Healing is natural. It comes from your belief. If you are believing that you are well, if you believe that you are abundant, if you are believe that everything works in your favor, everything will turn out that way. Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you can't, you are right. The first time I read that years ago, it got stuck onto me, and I took accountability of my belief and my thinking, and I started to become watchful of my narrative. Everything is just stories and sentences blurted by the ego. Your ego talks nonstop, and the one who listens is your spirit. So accentuate the part of you who listens. You can listen to yourself when you hear the part of yourself talking some negative things, when it's being afraid because everything is just out of fear. Because if you are not in fear, you need not say anything. Silence is the most powerful thing. It's also used in negotiations. And the one who has the power is the one who is able to walk away from the deal. And the one who does not need to prove anything. And that can be you, my friend. Find that deep-seated wisdom that is in you. The one that knows that everything is all okay. The one that has been supporting you. Turn to that. I've also been telling myself to focus focus on the source. Focusing on the source of unlimited wellspring of well-being. It runs through your spine. Yogananda calls it the two tepid lights that run from the coccyx to the crown of the head, up and down as you breathe. He calls it Kriya, the Kriya breathing process, wherein you just breathe and imagine two tepid white light, two threads of thin white light circling and whirling around and within your spinal column. And as you take a deep inhale, it runs up across and up your spine towards the third eye. And in an exhale, these two electrical lights come down again. And as you do that cycle, you're being recharged from the cosmos. Use the power of the universe, my friend. You do not need to do it all on your own. Doing it all on your own is like, how do I say this? Like emptying a swimming pool using a spoon. You see, you use the higher power that is working. In ancient Chinese wisdoms, it is called the Tao. There's a cool book called the Tao Te Ching, translated in many languages. If you're into these things, feel free to dip your toes into the mystery of the universe, the one that cannot be named. It is life. What is it for you, my friend? What is life for you? What is this mystery? How does your cell regenerate, and how does it pick what to cling to? How does your DNA repair itself? How does your neurons make new connections? How does the ray of light from the sun turn into an orange pulp through photosynthesis? And the birds sing in the morning so that the underlayer of the leaves, called the stomatas, open up to absorb more carbon dioxide for us to for it to produce oxygen. And it is all one. It is all one energy. Everybody you encounter, may it be a person or an insight, it's been there. It has been said that you are all of the ancestors. You can be a medium of wisdom and love. And how are you to deploy that mission within your day? Are you being called to do great work? Are you being called to do simple work? Whatever it is, my friend, it is a part of a great tapestry. We're all weaved together. The mere fact that you're listening to this is a gift, that we're being connected through feeling and through technology. And my mission here is to help you, to ease you of your self-limiting beliefs that everything is just a thought and thoughts can be changed. Become a wise discerner of what comes into your domain of familiarity, because what you let enter your mind becomes your world. Reality unfolds as you think it, my friend. What is your greatest dream? Picture that in your mind. And the body, your chemical makeup does not know the difference of a dream and 3D reality. And through the law of inverse transformation, the universe conspires to your favor through your choices in the way you look at things. Shout out Deborah, shout out Lori. Have a great weekend. They're very good friends in the music scene. We saw them at our friend's show called Exclamation Pony. Speaking of shows, if you're in the Bay Area, we will be playing at Brick and Mortar December 15th and San Francisco Music City December 13th. And we will be doing tattoos there as well. Go to snowtattoo.com for more deets. And life is great. Life is phenomenal. Life is a gift. Don't you ever waste a second of it. Project a calm smile. Everything happens for a reason, and just be willing to learn. Be a great student. Be nimble. There are things that you cannot control and things that you can control. And with the things you can't control, apply your grit. That's the only quality that you can amp up your grit. If you're into happiness, be happy now. Because no event in the future holds a happiness that cannot be found right here. It's all in your head. It's all in your heart. It's all within you. Everything's a projection. Everywhere you look is a projection of what you choose to see from the inside. You're a looking glass. You're a filter, my friend. And you're made up of an amalgamation of many programs, many traumas, and it can be let go. Your job here is to refine and purify. Tapas in yogic language. To burn and boil so that you may be fortified to purity. Hence our moniker, make pure thy heart. Everything that you do can be done in purity. In each and every breath you take can be held in purity. Each and every movement of the body can be done in joy. What are you excited about? What are you fired up about? Life is here for the taking and making. What's your path to $1 million? It's a game to play, my friend. Watch your body when you ask this question. Is there a resistance like, ooh, that's not for me. That's impossible. People did it, yo. People done it. People less smarter, less good looking, or less fortunate than you did it. If you choose to play the game, if you choose to pay the price, you shall be rewarded. But the beauty here, my friend, and the message I'm trying to give to you is that your freedom is here. It is up to you. It is up to you if you're gonna take that step. And it is not about the material things that you'll get, but it is the person you are to become. Will you be the one who transcends and really made the most out of the opportunities that are presented upon you? Technology is here. Successful people in the past, they didn't have computers. Biographies are there. You can type in a summary. Shout out to short form. I've been using this app constantly because I just type in a book and they summarize it. I get the key points and I immediately apply it in my life. So go to shortform.com/Paulo or go to the notes below. I posted on the link. So just a couple of things. We can run through the latest post from startearlytoday.com. These are just 7 thoughts that you can carry within you as you do your life moment to moment, because it's happening in real time, my friends. You cannot push it till tomorrow or in a conditional way, like how do you say this? If this thing happens, then I will be happy, or then only I will move, then only I will take the next steps. Somebody calls this the someday aisle. Are you walking on that aisle? The someday aisle. Someday I'll do this. Someday I'll do this. It's now, my friend, and it starts with your belief. It's an internal shift. Just try believing that you can. Try picturing yourself as an accomplisher or a winner or a task doer. And you do it with utmost thankfulness, because your capability is a gift, and if your capability is practiced and opened, there's no limit to its width. Your capability is unlimited. Look up at the sky. It's as unlimited as that. Just thinking about this inspires me that there's unlimitedness in the beauty that I can create. And then we're gonna insert specificity. In what way, Paulo, are you gonna do this? What do I like? I like music, and I do it as a song. And I can do it as a song performance. Universe. And then I make connections. I book places wherein these things are happening. Hence, the happening at brick and mortar. I'll see you there. Create out of fullness, my friend. Creating out of inspiration rather than desperation. We always have this illusory chip on the shoulder because of what your dad told you when you were young. But how did that help you? Some might say it's their driver. I heard somewhere that chips on shoulders make chips in the pocket. Well, if that works for you, good for you, my friend. But the most important competitor, or the only thing, or the only person you need to impress is you. If you're impressed by yourself, if you surpass your daily standards and crank it up to 10, crank up that gain. If you're a musician, you hear what I'm saying. In the amplifier, there's a knob called gain, and you turn it up to 10. And poof, things might get broken a little bit, or it might be too loud, and that's where you adjust. You find that sweet spot. But you need to go your max. You need to go to the max, and then you find the flow, find that perfect rhythm. And you don't wait for the universe to save you, my friend. It will save you in a hurtful way if you keep on running away from what is meant for you. This is called facing the music, or drinking the coffee. Is there such a thing as drinking the coffee? Or, yeah, facing the music, and it's just dealing with reality. Deal with reality, and then when you start to deal with it, you can mold it. Know how the law works. The law of perpetual transmutation, the law of rhythm, the law of gender, the law of correspondence, the law of What's the other one? The law of compensation, the law of attraction, the law of vibration, the law of momentum, the law of compounding interest. Raise up the value of what you do. Make it so unique that it's unignorable, and position it in the world wherein it is beneficial to the evolution of a system. What does that look like, my friend? What's deep in your heart? How do you find it? Ask yourself, what makes you feel alive? What instances or activities or scenarios do you feel truly alive? Do you feel fulfilled? You feel it's mostly helping people. I feel good when I share the insights that I come across. Hence this podcast. Shout out to you, dear listener. So create out of fullness. Make every action an outpour of the abundance that you are. And abundance does not necessarily mean money in the bank. My friend, although it's a good measuring tool, abundance is life. How do we explain abundance, my friend? It is life, because if you're alive, you have the capability to learn. And if you're capable to learn, you can present yourself in the marketplace of people who are agents of riches. And if you are of value to these people, you'll be needed and compensated for. And when you're compensated for the things that you do, you will have enough time to explore the beauty and the mysteries of life. And once you do this, you are able to support the things of your choosing, the things that you think will help the overall vibrational cleanliness of the world. You get to clean it up through love, imbuing love, through support, through dynamic support, not mindless giving. You give them the tools for them to fish. Hence, I give you these mind tools for you to let go of your past self and create this new one. One that is waiting to be born deep within you. It's in your heart. The perfect you, fit physically, no lack financially, a whole lot of loving relationships, full acceptance and openness to the world, full of creativity, the freedom to undergo experiences that calls you authentically. These are majestic things, my friend, and each day that you let pass and push off to tomorrow is a day lost, is an opportunity lost. What are the times in your life in the past wherein you took the plunge through curiosity and in the name of fun, wherein you opened up new worlds that are still serving you today? As for me, it's the curiosity of tattooing. The curiosity for music. I jumped in, I held the guitar, and I just strummed those chords, and those chords are resonating in each and every song that I am about to create. Speaking speaking of unlimitedness, there's no limit to the songs that you can create. See? There's no limit to... You might have one pan and 2 spoons, but there's no limit to the variety of dishes you can cook. I have proven this true. When I started my blog, I've been using the same pot. And I've made 100 dishes. And I've helped hundreds of housewives or house husbands, house people, to be home cooked, to gain confidence in the kitchen. Make purethyheart.com for recipes. Sometimes when I browse through the recipes that I have made throughout the years, it fires up new inspiration in me, for I can variate it in a different way. So whatever it is that you're holding dear in your heart today or in your mind, put it on paper and try to give it reality. Is it a crocheted blanket? Start crocheting for 1 hour while listening to Turbo Goth. I would love to see how you're applying these tools. Take a moment each day and reflect on your strengths and resources. Not only going for the thing that you do not have, but a really powerful practice that I have learned is to desire what you already have. Start with that. That's a technique. Desire being alive. Desire having your limbs. Desire having clean water, shelter. And then sneak in your $1 million USD net. That's after tax. Okay? You sneak that in. And then you're like an antenna. It will open up to reception. You're like a radio station. You just gotta tune into the right frequency and insights shall be received. Your true desires and steps shall be revealed. But you gotta get to the feeling first. Feeling is the secret. It's never the thing. It's never the external happening. It's the internal feeling. It's not what you think. It's how you feel. Okay? So how are you feeling? How are you feeling? Write it down. If you're feeling crummy and muddy and sluggish, write it down and filter why. And then the inner wisdom within you shall whisper, you're sluggish because of this and that. Because you're doing too much Netflix or too much sedentation. Okay? The inner life knows. Your inner wisdom. Daemon is what it's called. There's an oracle inside of you. Buddha's inside of you. You are Christ. Only if you open up your heart to it. Might be cheesy. It might be cringe. But it's the real deal, my friend. Be good and do the hard things. Be noble and taste the sweetness of natural, the sweetness from God. And Yogananda describes this as no match compared to ice cream or a titillating fancy. The true sweetness of the desire and embodiment of God shall make you high, and it will make all of your body parts tingle. And this is what it is to be a full man, a full human. So what are your goals for today? Make it specific. A notebook will very come in handy. It is very handy to have a little notebook, although mine is full of scribbles but it's a moment with yourself if you open up a page and hold a pen and just scribble up what's in your mind. You'll get to see, why did I write that down? Who is that part of me? Maybe that's the quieter part of me, the one who writes. Maybe that is my awareness. Because there's a lag. Because the thoughts, which is the ego, is all bombarding in real time and always on. But if you write it down, there's a slight delay. There's a slight delay of filtration, if I may say. So try writing your goals down, and how are you to get close to them, or how are you to close that gap between your between your present self and future self. Journaling is very important. They're powerful tools for personal growth and transformation. You're always in transformation, my friend, but the pace is up to you. The pace and the direction and the intensity is up to you. We know we're all going to the same place, but might as well go out with a bang, with optimal vigor and in flames, you know? So set clear, actionable objectives to guide you on your journey. What are the things that are most important to you? Become an essentialist. Cut out the unnecessary. Cut out the opinions that are not helping you grow. Cut out the things that are not really getting you to where you want to be, the fullness of what you are. Another thing is allowing ourselves to dream. Are you settling because it's easier that way? And ask yourself, are you really happy? Or you're just going along because this is what society has approved of for you? Take a moment to really analyze that. What about do you know what they say about when you're only using a certain percentage of your brain, which is very small? I'm thinking, my opinion is, it's the same thing with life, that we're only touching the surface. If we are not mindful in directing it and watching the levers, like building skills or positioning ourselves, leveraging our talents, deciding and designing our day's activities and non-activities. What is your biggest dream? May it be audacious and ridiculous. That would be fun. That would be great. Never having to worry about finances. There's a way for that to happen. Set your investments right. Do dollar cost averaging. Set a certain percentage of your income to the S&P 500 or a high yield savings account, and allot all of your expenses in place. Be really accurate, and you get to see, this is how much my energy input is converting into dollars, and I can allot these dollars in these places, and I can allot my time in investing and working on myself for me to level up in the game. Oh, this is the way for me to be connected to people who will benefit from my talents, and I will gonna put myself in proximity to these instances for luck to be received daily. So there's many ways to dream. Start by visualizing that the things that get you excited that other people are doing, that it is possible for you as well. It is possible for you to have that and be greater than that, because we're all people. We are all people who have a noggin. We all have brains, my friend. Shout out to I forgot the brand, but it is reishi. I'm drinking a reishi drink. Mushrooms are really good for your brain. But all of these are just, it's optional. You can run through clean water, sunlight, push-ups, and just plain clean food, and function optimally. Okay, but make use of nature. I think in the ancient times, they're more connected to the wisdoms of the plants, and they are connected to the rishis. I was gonna say you're connected to the rishis because the yoga people who has powers are called rishis. And it's just funny that it is the same word as the reishi mushrooms. Could it be that they have the same wisdom? They contain the same wisdom? I don't know. I have yet to look it up at etymology.com. Excuse me. Oh, this is where other people trip as well. Don't worry about the how. How am I going to do that? From here, from where you're standing or from where you're thinking, it is impossible. That's why it's called an impossible dream. That's why it's called a big dream, an audacious dream. But with time and constant practice and constant openness to unusual inputs, okay? From books. Take from books, my friends. The more important thing here is to maintain the faith and maintain the feeling. But the how and the specifics, they will come. They come in increments. And it's a lifelong journey. So don't be too hard on yourself. And not doing a little thing is detrimental. So do what you can with what you have, with where you are. Arthur Ashe, shout out, a very useful quote. Getting too caught up in the how can stifle creativity and progress. Embrace uncertainty and trust the process. See, these are cliche words that you see on Pinterest and in inspirational places, but have you really pondered on the concept of trusting the process? It's a whole lot of courage to trust the process. What does that even mean? It means doing everything within your ability and being open to the result. And then you tally your result and then apply a different approach. Constantly editing what you're increasing, decreasing, stopping, and starting. These are your levers. So we all get up in the how if we are over analyzing, and if you're just sitting there scrolling and not having a plan. Scroll for valuable content that fires you up, and set a time limit for every consuming session that you do. Bang out a fire content of your own, written by you. Okay? It can be a mixture of some inspirational artworks, music, a recipe. I'm sharing the way I do things. I scroll and see how people do things, how they do handstand push-ups, and how they do the jump throughs in Ashtanga. All of those things I do are part of my life. So make everything that you consume be a part or a contributor to your growth. I have stopped watching skating videos because lately I have not been skating. I have not been skateboarding. But I've been watching a whole lot of the way to do pull-ups and dips and rings and kettlebells because that's a part of my world daily. Okay, so make what you consume a helper or an inspiration rather than a provoker of jealousy and envy. That's a bad way of going about things. What a waste. What a waste of a prana. You are life force energy, my friend, and you're sitting and murmuring and complaining. Is that very noble of you? Is that something to be proud of? I don't think so, my friend. You are better than that, and you know that. And one last thing, a question. What would you do if you could not fail? What if failure is not an option? What would you do? What would you think? How would you relate to yourself, others, and with your work? Because everything's a decision. Everything's a choice. Each and every moment of your life is created by you through your deliberate choosing. So become a deliberate creator. Become a wise discerner of what life are you giving. Putting forth in the world and in your brain, in your mental picture. It's beauty. It can be beauty. According to the Bible, it says, think only things that are of purity, nobility, and godliness. Stand guard at the doorway of your mind. And never let anyone or anything in without a help in the sight. Meaning if it's not of service to your higher self, or if it's not for the betterment of your present moment or your future, if it is not an investment for your well-being, do not let it in. Do not let it consume time, attention, energy in your mind. So that goes with people, that goes with stories and narratives. There's no such thing as limitation. Only you are putting a limit to yourself. Anything and everything can be learned, but you need to take the lessons. I highly suggest you learn mindfulness and the way the mind, body, and spirit works, and get your physical vessel in tip-top shape, and we'll work from there. If you want one-on-one coaching, go to startearlytoday.com. I've been revamping the site, making it clean, nice and clean, and I hope to see you on the flip side. That's it for today. Namaste.